Sean O'Malley doubts Aljamain Sterling will ever move to featherweight. Sean says Aljo is insecure and would rather fight at bantamweight where he's bigger and stronger than most guys. O'Malley said, "I like Aljo, he's a good dude. I never really said anything bad about him. I think if he goes up to 45, it'd be super interesting. I think there's a lot of interesting fights up there at 45. I think his weight gets big enough for that. You know, I'm probably 160 pounds right now. I probably won't get over this. He's probably 175. Like, it just doesn't make sense to go back to 35 for his health, for his longevity. I think there's certain matchups at 45 that he could do good with. What about Aljo versus like Brian Ortega? That's a sweet fight. He'll probably go back down to 35 just because he's insecure and he wants to be stronger and bigger than these guys. Why else would he not fight at 45? It's not like his skills aren't there. His skills, he's good. Not as good as me, but he's good. You know what I mean? He could go up to 45. I think he'd do fine up there." Bobby Green thinks he'd have some success if he sparred Rampage Jackson.
Think you get the best of me in sparring?
This is what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it like this. You ain't never nobody like me. That's all I can say.
Well, are we sparring MMA, boxing, Muay Thai?
We can do whatever you want, sir.
All right.
Whatever you want.
Rampage,
And
that one smoke.
hey,
He's
listen.
in fight mode.
Hey, listen.
He in fight. I know. I see it. I see it.
Listen, you're a
Right
killer.
now.
You're a killer, and I'm not trying to act like or pump myself up or nothing. Like, all I'm saying is, at the end of the sparring session, you're gonna say, "I don't know if I ever been with no like that yet."
Oh my.
That's all I'm gonna say.
That's it.
Ilia Topuria shows a fan what a body shot feels like. Michael Bisping responds to PFL founder Don Davis saying that Dana White is worried over the recent purchase of Bellator. If you haven't heard, PFL recently acquired Bellator, however the two will still run separately. Anyways, Bisping does not think Dana cares whatsoever.
And I'm not here to criticize or anything like that, and I'm very happy that fighters have other avenues to compete and make a living and earn money and all the rest of it. But it just made me laugh. And again, this is not me swinging off Dana's nuts. I saw a headline the other day. Dana White is worried, do you know what I mean, that they bought Bellator. And I was like, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think they're going to lose any sleep at night. And I went through, bring up the PFL roster and bring up the Bellator roster. And when you scroll through it, I'm sure they're really good fighters, so I'm not talking about them. It was just the headlines. Dana's worried, you know, because he's talking about us now. And I'm like, I really, really don't think so. And when I went through the roster, other than people that used to be in the UFC, I didn't recognize any of the names. Now, that doesn't mean they're not good fighters. It doesn't mean they don't have value. But it just, I'm like, I don't see how you're coming to the conclusion that Dana's going to be really worried about this.
Yeah, no, there's in PFL, there's a couple really good fighters. There really is.
Sure.
There's not a lot of big names, and that's because the UFC, every name that I recognize is a former UFC fighter, by the way.
And I'm sure, by the way, these are all fantastic fighters. That's what I said, though. Listen, God bless him. I hope it's a tremendous success. I just don't think this headline and this statement that he gave to Help Warner that Dana's worried. Dana's worried. I'm like, God.
Robert Whittaker gives his pick for the rematch between Sean O'Malley versus Chito Vera. Sean versus Chito is set for UFC 299 in March.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley has an uncanny way of finding the knockout point, of finding his mark, that target. Yeah. I mentioned it before he fought Sterling, that he has an uncanny ability to find his mark, to find that knockout. And I don't think it'll be any difference in this fight, but I do think there is going to be like a mental thing at play, because I don't know. I saw the face off between Chito and Sean, and dude, Chito Vera looks mean. He's
a killer, bro. I swear,
absolutely psycho. And you can tell in his eyes that he's looking at Sean like, I've beaten you once.
Yep.
And I'll beat you again. And mate, I'm so for this fight. Because we obviously didn't get to see how that fight would have played out going longer with the injury to his leg. Yeah. But then Cheetah was kicking him. Yeah. I'm so for this fight. I do think Sean, I've mentioned it a million times, he can find his mark. He can find his shot. He's so good at setting up those shots, and he can throw those shots from a lot of different angles. He's got the reach. Yeah, I think Vera has to play this fight carefully, or it's only a matter of time for before Sean gets him. And I'm gonna bag Sean for this fight just because, yeah, he's got the ability.
So footage is going around social media of a girl threatening to expose Johnny Walker on live. Now there are DMs going around social media between an alleged minor and Johnny Walker. She's claiming that Johnny cheated on his wife. Before I read some of them, I'd like to preface, these are in no way, shape, or form confirmed to be Johnny Walker. And if this actually is Johnny, there's zero evidence thus far confirming he knew she was a minor. A lot of the DMs are a bit too explicit for YouTube, however I can read some. Here's the first one. Johnny allegedly says, "Why you took screenshot?" She replied, "I took a screenshot of your profile." Continues, "Why?" There is saying you took 2 screenshots of the chat. It's fine, just don't be spreading our chat please. You agreed? If we want to love forward and meet up. Here's another one. It says, "Are you driving where I have to pick you up? Just finish shower. But I just can today and tomorrow. My girlfriend come back Saturday. I'm rarely free. Let me see you? How tall are you? How many kg? Show me more if you want to see more. Nice, listen. Come on, you are hot. You know I'm hot. Just message me later. I come over, we have," and you get where that's going.
And I'll send it to your whole family.
Okay, good
I'm
luck.
gonna send it to your wife, and your wife's gonna know that you cheated on her.
She saw, read everything. She don't care.
Well, I'm just gonna text her again and again and again until she sees it.
So, listen.
Because you blocked her.
She
You
saw,
blocked me on her
she saw
phone.
already. So, get a
You
life.
blocked me on her phone.
Get a
You blocked me on her
job.
phone.
Listen, get a
I
job.
have
Get
all
a
the
life.
things. You can
okay?
text me on that.
And try to be happy. And
No,
try
do what you want.
Try to have your own life and be happy.
Anyone
do
can
the
text
best.
me and just get it.
Do the
I'll just
best
send it to
for
everyone.
yourself, okay? And I hope you have a better life. If you're sad, if you're in depression, if you're sad, if you know, like, have a good life, like, work harder.
But you
Wake
don't
up
have a good
early.
life because you
Stop
cheated on your wife.
Stop.
You
Listen,
cheated
stop-
on your wife.
Listen, stop spend your time in things that's not gonna give nothing back to you.
No, you're
Try
acting
to
on
work
it,
harder,
Simon.
study more, invest in yourself, in some job, in some ability that can earn money and pay the bills, doing something like.
What do you guys think about the whole situation? Do you guys think the DMs are fake? Post your opinions in the comments. Johnny Walker is currently scheduled to rematch Magomed Ankalaev on January 13th. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post videos. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. These comments are once again about Ian Gary. The first one's from Nate Marks. It says, "Ian tried to become Conor, and now he is a walking meme." The second one's from Max Payne's 1. It says, "Ian's wife calling him a p*** for actually being mature for once and not fighting Hamzat in the elevator just shows you her true character." And the final one's from Zach H420. It says, "The craziest part about this is Ian's wife is just as delusional as he is." Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.